Alright, so we are going to be calling Maki, and Maki is a newer user on Reality, but they have already succeeded in getting a sticker inside of Reality. Alright, hey Maki! Hi hoi!
Hello, Forby.
Alright, so Maki, congratulations! Welcome to the interview! um, So I did send out some questions that you might have been able to gloss over. There are going to be some other questions. Again, it's all dependent on like what your answers are, okay? So, who are you?
I am Maki. I am a mostly wholesome but very supportive friend that likes to stream and meet new people and make new connections and spread positivity and love.
Oh yeah, I love that. So I know you just did a community outreach. You did an event club where you were giving some people some major support. Can you tell us some more about your event club stuff?
Absolutely. So I am a really big believer in taking care of yourself and supporting other people and friends, especially if you've been through, similar situations or headspaces where you think a little bit of like, in my case, older sibling advice, right, is very beneficial. And it actually had a lot better of a turnout than I was expecting it to have. And I got to share a lot of tips and tricks on how to keep yourself in the present and things that you can do to help better your mental health. It was amazing, the reaction.
Yay! I'm glad. So you were talking about how there's a bigger turnout. Are you going to continue doing event clubs? Do you think it actually is doing well of connecting the community?
100% yes.
Yay!
I did not realize how, I guess the right word for it would be like impactful event club can be. It can be as impactful as you want it to be in many different ways, right? Like we have streamers that are doing stuff to get your mind off of everyday things like Dungeons and Dragons kind of stuff, avatar ratings, buddy simulators, right? I kind of went the route of a more educational stream, but everything is impactful in its own way, and I think that that's something that's really beautiful, and I love being part of stuff like that. So, absolutely doing it.
All right. So we've talked about some of your event club stuff. I was mentioning before we got into the call that you did win the sticker event. And so you have a sticker called Farrell. Do you want to tell us anything about the sticker event or about your sticker or anything like that?
Absolutely. So, the sticker event was really overwhelming. It was a lot more. It was a lot more overwhelming than I anticipated. I was like, oh, I love doing events. I'll try this one out. And then all of a sudden, boom, right? I think that's probably the biggest event that I've joined. And people did warn me. They were like, oh, like sticker events are a really big deal. And I was like, okay, but nobody like warned me.
Conan!
Like
Conan!
I was streaming for like 12 plus hours a day. I had themed streams every single day. It took every single spoon that I had in my mental spoon drawer, right? Like I had no mental energy left after that for like I'm still recovering. All I do now are wallpapers, but the turnout of the community and seeing the support from like all the friends that I've made and making new friends through the event was so worth it. I know the sticker is a little feral. However, it was every time I go in a stream, people are like, "Oh my goodness, is that the Maki? The Maki with the feral sticker?" Even if they don't know me, and they'll send it, and I'm like, "That's beautiful," because now people like, yeah, okay, I branded myself as
You
being
did?
unhinged and feral.
You kind of are now stuck with that image. Oi, oi.
Yes, but it's fun. I it's so worth it, you know. And the event that I joined was really chillaxed the time that I went in it, and two of my really good friends also got a sticker from that event, so it was a good event. I loved it.
Yay. Yeah, and I just love seeing the fact that you guys were the July group and you guys were so kind to one another, very supportive. I saw everybody coming into each other's streams and no one was being negative. And so it was just really good to see the July group. And it honestly, like anybody who was in the top five, I thought deserved a sticker just because of how good the sportsmanship was. Like it was, mwah. I love seeing the community rally in such a good way. So you have mentioned that you're now doing like less competitive events. Do you consider yourself a VTuber?
Yes, yes, I do, and I
Why?
only say that.
Why?
I
Sorry for cutting you
only
off.
say that because no, you're good. Because I am, well, I'm using my avatar, right? This is my main avatar. Obviously, on reality, we have multiple, not enough slots, but we have multiple slots.
Never enough.
And I will continue to complain about it in my survey every time. Everyone do your
Same,
survey
same, same,
watching
same.
this. Um,
Always do your
I don't care if I
surveys.
have to pay. I will pay. But, um, I'm still doing what I consider a VTuber to do, right? I stream every day around the same time, sometimes a little bit later because I do have a full-time job aside from VTubing.
Yeah, we gotta make money
And
somehow.
exactly, I make nothing on this app, literally. And I engage with the community. I'm still, streaming video games instead of doing it through Twitch. Sometimes I'll do it on YouTube on this platform, so that way we can stay in the app instead of people having to move over. And this is definitely, it's definitely a startup to VTubing. I do eventually want to transfer this model or something very similar over to Twitch to
Okay, okay.
give more of an outreach. But I'm still really intertwined with this community. I don't think I would ever leave it.
Yee! I don't want you ever to
As
leave
far
me.
as
Don't leave me. So if reality had the opportunity to be a bigger platform and to have it where their streamers could make money via streaming and like make it a profession, would you be interested in stepping into like full-time streaming?
100%. I think that, so a little bit of backstory, right? I joined this app because of another streamer who was my friend for 3 years previously outside of this app. And I love them to death. They are a wonderful human being. They're an even better streamer. Um, and we both noticed that I was not in a good headspace. My home life was not something that I was mentally able to stay in, and they recommended coming to this app where I could meet new people in a world that I get to create by myself, right?
Oh,
And that was absolutely beautiful, and I like to provide that experience for other people. Even if, I see a little green flag come into my stream and I'm like, oh my goodness, hello.
same, same,
How
same.
are
I
you
love
today?
seeing
How
lots
did
of
you?
little green flags. I love seeing all the new people.
My phone fell. Sorry. But and that is something that is so special to me. And I know not everybody on reality has like the same exact feeling, but I know a lot of my friends on here that stream have a very similar feeling. And I just love to spread that feeling to other people. So if I had the opportunity to make this a full-time thing and continue to provide that experience for other people, 100% with no questions asked, I would.
Oh, that's exciting. That's exciting. Um, because I know reality has talked about in the future, like they would like to offer that to the North American server because they do have on the Japanese server, they do have professional streamers. Like they do have people who make enough just streaming reality that they are able to have that be their full-time like profession. And so they would like to have that same type of opportunity with the North American international server. So I'm very excited to see that. But that's just me being very excited. So how did you had mentioned like a friend had recommended reality to you. So I'm assuming that's how you found it. You didn't have any like stumbling through the app store. And you had mentioned that you loved the community and the friends you've made. Is that the only reason why you've stayed?
That is a fantastic question. So, honestly, a lot of my friends on here I have on other social media platforms as well, right? So we can talk outside of reality, play video games, watch movies together, do all that kind of stuff. I've actually met up with people from this app in real life before, which is fantastic, and I
It's so
love doing that
exciting.
kind of stuff, you know? It's so exciting. Exactly. So, there, I wouldn't say that my friends are the reason that I stay on the app, even though that's a really big influence on why I stay on the app, because having friends on here is so lovely, right? Always gives me motivation to stream. I'm like, yes, I hope my friends come in today. But I think another major influence on why I do stay on this app, aside from the friends and community, is just the ability to step outside of myself in my everyday work life, right? And
Hmm hmm
de-stress and be able to express myself without being worried about who's going to care, who's going to notice, because it's me, right? Like the anonymity of it is really nice as well. Um, and I get to sing on my streams. I get to stream myself doing art sometimes. I get to just talk to people. And I wouldn't be able to do that if I just stepped outside my front door. So
hmm
that's
hmm
definitely something that also keeps me mad.
Yeah, no, I definitely relate to that a lot. Like my job is very different than when I do reality. I just blather. Like I'm sorry, everybody, just listen to me, Bringo. And you don't really get that opportunity IRL. Like you can't just sit down at a coffee shop and just talk to any random person. I'm sure some people do, but I don't have the type of confidence to do that. um, so you had mentioned that you do stream, you cross stream onto YouTube and on Twitch sometimes. Do you have any experience being a streamer or a content creator before stepping into reality and then doing that? Like, did you have a channel beforehand? You can just say yes or no. If you don't want to talk about the channel or like your social media, that's fine. I just want to know because some people are completely brand new to content creation when they come into reality.
Absolutely. So I had a Twitch before I had reality. I had a YouTube channel before I had reality, and I also had a TikTok before I had reality. Um, as far as considering myself a content creator, I definitely created content. The amount of traction that it had was questionable. And honestly, the difference between like being a content creator or a streamer more so on here than like on the other platforms without the access to this app is so exponentially different from each other.
Mm-hmm.
Like on TikTok, my videos only did really well if I was crying or shaving my head, right? So,
Maki, no
so
more
like
shaving.
I don't
No
have
more
to
shaving.
no more shaving. I didn't have to cry or shave my head on reality for people to come into my streams. On Twitch, I had to stay current with whatever games were popular, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still really small on Twitch, but my channel has grown so much since I've started like cross streaming. Because I do bring people from reality over, and then there occasionally are people that I bring from Twitch over here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is super fantastic to see, and it gets you a lot more traction, and there's definitely a lot more community as far as streaming, which is why I like doing the cross-platform stuff. Like even on my reality TikTok, because I have my personal TikTok, which is where I'm bald and crying all the time, and then my reality TikTok, where I'm just like,
I love
oh
your
my god, I just dropped
TikToks.
$500 on Gacha and got all bronze bears, you know? It's a very different vibe, but I love both. However, I think streaming on reality has definitely given me more like confidence as a
Mm-hmm.
streamer on other platforms as well.
All right. So, um, you have mentioned like you were on other platforms before. Did you ever look at the analytics part? Because reality really doesn't offer you analytics. They do give you like some stream stats of like how long you streamed, how many people came in, comments. how many more follows you get, but you don't get any like regional analytics of like these are the viewers coming in from this area. You don't get any like these are the most popular times and things like that. Um, do you care about analytics? And if you do, would you like to see analytics from reality's side?
So about the caring part about it, yes and no, right? It's definitely something that's cool to see, and it helps me build the community on the other platforms with analytics, because like on TikTok, for example, right, it'll show me what region is most popular at what time. And I know, okay, well, this region gives me my most engagement, so I'm going to post more around this time. And then I'm able to meet more people that way. On here, I'm just like, cross my fingers, hope for the best. Somebody pops in my stream today. Because I've definitely had streams. Cordy, like a month ago, I streamed for an hour straight and 0 people came in.
What?
And I was like, what is going on? Yeah, an hour. I was sitting there talking to myself, dude. Like, I was sitting here, I was playing some Noah Khan in the background. I was like, okay. I know people aren't just like not coming in for like what is going on. So in those cases, yes, I do care about analytics because I want to know when is most convenient for other people to come in. Because like I said, I love reaching out to the community. I love making new friends, right? Sometimes I don't have the confidence as a streamer to go into other streamers' streams and talk. Right, I definitely, but that's the beauty of this app because you can choose to do that or you can choose to just let people come to you. But the analytics help if you choose to let people come to you. So I would love to see analytics on this app to check, because I hate doing streams by myself.
Same. I'm just like standing here awkwardly. I'm like just talking to the breeze. Okay. All right. Okay. This one's important. All right. Important question. We be serious. We be serious. If you had any advice to give to someone first starting out, advice you would have liked to had when you first started streaming, what would it be?
Be yourself. That is, and I know that sounds so cliche, but let me elaborate. When I first started on this app, I did not stream for like maybe a month, right? Because I was scared that based on the other streams that I saw and the engagement that those streams got, if I was not that way, I would not get the opportunity to make friends or to be part of people's friend groups. So it wasn't necessarily I wasn't being true to myself as far as who I am or who I was. It was more so I was scared to be myself, so I just stayed in the background and I just lurked. I was a lurker, right? But now that I have started streaming, like I think I have a 112-day daily right now, right?
Yay!
I come on here for at least 15 minutes every day and I'm myself. And I make so many friends and it's fantastic. And I meet so many new people from all different parts of the world, you know, like I'm branching out into the Spanish streams. I used to be scared to do that, but you know, being myself, I make friends and they're super nice people and you attract what you put out. So 4B is not identical to Maki and Maki is not identical to 4B. Right? But we're still friends and we're ourselves and we get along so well. And that's like the beautiful part about it. You don't have to be like any other streamer because you're unique and you're yourself. So just be true to that.
Nice, 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 nice. I love that message. I love that because I get in my head sometimes and I'm like, this is what people are really like, this is the clickbait, right? This is what everybody's clicking on. I should hop on this trend. And I'm like, no, that's not the content I do. That's not who I am as a streamer. So I really agree with that. That is a really good advice to have. Um, is there something on reality you would like to try, but you haven't yet? And what is it? Like, what is it and why? Like, why haven't you tried it yet? And why would you want to try it?
Something that I haven't tried. Well, a big one was Event Club, but I just did that the other day. I definitely, this is gonna sound a little odd, so I'll say it out loud, and if I need to tweak it, I'm gonna here's the thing, right? Um, I want to try doing more content heavy streams because
Okay.
I don't do a lot of content heavy streams. Okay. I do a lot of like just chat with me's, and a lot of like you can come in and hear me talk, and you can leave if you don't want to, or if you want to, you don't have to talk with me. You can get your points, whatever. Like I never mind. But I want to do a lot more like, hey, I have a lot of knowledge about this topic,
Hmm.
and I would like to share this knowledge with you. You can choose to take it, you can
You
choose to
wanna
not.
join me in
Because I
information
don't. You want
land?
to join me in information land? Yes, yes, I would love to join you in information land. And I also want to do a lot more like, what's the right way to say this? So, in case, do not make the mistake of going onto the newbies tab. Anybody?
Why you don't want to go
I
through the
try. You don't want to
hazing?
go through the hazing. No, do not haze yourself. I want to do a lot more like newbie outreaches without having to go to the newbies tab because sometimes it is just like my sticker, feral, and I do not have the energy to deal with it. But I want to be a warm welcomer for the app of reality. You know what I mean? And I
Okay.
definitely want to try using this avatar on Twitch because I haven't done that yet either.
Ooh, ooh, that'd be fun. That'd be fun. I think that'd go over really, really well. And it's super easy to do. All you need is a capture card, and bada bing, bada boom, you're on Twitch with your avatar. Um, so this one's gonna be a little more personal. You don't have to answer this. But do you think your personal culture has affected how you stream?
You're gonna laugh at me so hard right now, but can you define personal culture?
Okay, so this is gonna be a combination. So everybody has like an ethnic culture that they grow up in, and then they also have like a societal culture. So like East Coast versus West Coast. Like there's a difference between someone from the East Coast, somebody from the West Coast, even though they're all from the United States. Just like how someone who is Hispanic is going to have a different viewpoints than somebody who is like Polish, right? And that's just because of like the upbringings, like and things like that. And then I also want to know like there's generational culture as well. So we got a lot of people who are like Gen X, Gen Z, Millennial, Alpha. We have a whole bunch of different generations in this application, and so we've all like I'm a millennial, um, and so like I grew up on the in between of the internet. And so like that how I interact with the app also like we were told like stranger danger and like don't reveal any of your personal information to people online and things like that. Um so that's what I mean. Like so all of these three different cultures make up your personal culture.
Okay, I see. So, how my personal culture pretty much influences the way that I stream, right?
Hmm.
So, excuse my dog in the background. Ree, calm down. Thanks, bud. Yes, my dog's name is Ree, and I have a sticker called Feral. I don't want. Come on, Ree, you can go out for a little bit. Come on, Mama. Go ahead. No? Okay, whatever.
She's like, no, not today.
Sorry. She's like, no, not today. She like fake peed on the floor, so like, trying to put her outside. Whatever. This dog is just mean, bro. I don't. Sorry, I apologize for being me for that.
No, no, I'm keeping this in the interview. This is
I'm
staying.
keeping this in the interview. This is staying. Okay, so listen. As far as my personal culture, I grew up with overly strict parents, right? Other people are, for me growing up, other people were, anybody was dangerous. So what did I naturally do? I rebelled. I tried to get on platforms as soon as I met the minimum age requirement. I tried to make friends, right? So I grew up having a lot of online friends. So the idea of being able to expand on online friends definitely influences me, at least to stream. However, I think my interaction with a lot of people that I've had in life also influences how I stream, like the content of my streams, right? This gets a little personal, but I was not a very well liked or popular person growing up. I was seen as like a recluse. I was seen as somebody that isolates themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I was seen as being the weird kid in high school because I had a different music taste than other people. The weird kid in middle school that wore Hot Topic leggings that had cats on them and brought a pot of spaghetti to school.
I know
That
exactly
was my
what you're
lunch.
talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, I know exactly. Right. Um, and that definitely influenced at least like the first month or two. Like you've known me for a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm,
So I
mm-hmm.
don't know if you've noticed a shift in my openness as far as streaming. But now I
Yeah.
just don't like I don't care what other people think of me. I'm not going to be everybody's cup of tea. Nobody's going to be everybody's cup of tea. And I like to now encourage that in my streams. Like, you know what? Be yourself. If I like you, and we'll be friends. And you might not like me, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I'm still very cautious because my mom instilled that in me growing up, right? Be cautious about who you let into your circle. And I think that's very important too. Especially with like the more followers that you gain. My account's been growing slowly but surely, and in the past couple of days, it's been growing a lot faster than I
That's
expected it
because you
to,
did
for
the
sure. After
event
the
club.
like people are following me into other people's streams when I'm just watching it. And they're like,
Mm-hmm.
Maki, hello. And I'm like, oh my goodness, hello. You know, and it gets overwhelming. It gets overwhelming sometimes. But that's something that like, you know, I'm willing to take that on because I'm willing to put out the content, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think that it's super important to still hold on to like your ideologies that you have as far as human connections when you start streaming, because if you lose that, you lose yourself, and I don't ever want to lose myself like that, you know.
No, no. I mean, I get lost naturally very easily. Have gotten lost inside a paper bag before, but yeah, I don't ever want to lose who I am as a person. It's just a scary thought to have. So I think the answer to this last question is a no. But is this your first reality account? Or, and I'm going to include, do you have an alter account as well? And you won't get in trouble if you have an alt.
So this
And you won't get in trouble if you have an alt.
this is my first reality account, and it's my only reality account. I don't have an alt actually.
Oh, would you? Okay, so you don't have an alt. Would you ever considering have an alt? So I know quite a few bigger streamers have alt accounts so that they are able to monitor their own stream. So like they have two phones app, they have like or like their tablet. So they have their like main account when they're streaming, and then they have a sideboard where they're able to monitor chat. Like when you have a multi-screen setup when you're doing like a Twitch or something like that.
Okay, so this ties into a point that I am gonna put in my survey this time. um, I would only ever consider getting an alt if they made PC streaming available on reality,
Okay. Okay.
because it's not currently available on reality. And I only have one phone, right? Some people have two phones, some people have an iPad. I only have a work iPad. I'm not gonna download reality on my work iPad and have them email me and be like, Maki, um,
What is
why did you
this?
download a VTubing app on your work iPad? Like, are you okay? I'm not gonna do that. But you know, if I was able to stream my normal stream on my computer that has a double monitor, right? And then log into an alt on my phone, absolutely 100% would do that because I already do that with Twitch.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
Twitch, you can actually stream on the PC and then manage it from your phone on your same account,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Like if we had an option like that, that would be so good. Or if I could just, you know, be able to use my alt on my phone and stream on the PC. But that's the only time I would ever consider like an actual alt, only because of the convenience for me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I get that completely. I have experience being a streamer across many platform, and so like I know exactly what you're talking about with the whole Twitch situation. I also am someone who has like 4.5 monitors, and I do have tablets and phones, and like I have a little like bat cave. So like for me, it's easy to do the whole two devices, have the alt app. Um, but I do notice that streamers who have that have an easier time moderating their own chat, and so they don't have to always rely on their own mods showing up because sometimes your mods aren't available to be there. And I said that was going to be the last question. I lied. Um, what do you think about moderation on the reality? Because that is a new feature.
So I like the concept of the moderation on reality. However, um, I okay, this goes into like things that I think should be added. So I think that I should be able to like pin my mod's comment,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
For example, like I was in Sean's event club today, and I found myself breaking my own rule for moderation for like the community that was coming in. I'm like, hey guys, welcome in. Please be respectful, wait your turn, be patient, and no spamming. But I had to send that like every three
Yeah,
messages, so I
you
was
had to spam
spamming.
it. Yeah.
You had to spam it. I have to spam to tell people not to spam, which is an oxymoron. But if Sean was able to just like pin that at the top, then
Mm-hmm.
lo and behold, problem solved, right? Um, I also think that the mod feature is really cool and it works when you have mods that are available. And then I end up just making a bunch of people mods because my mods aren't available. And then sometimes I have nothing but mods in the chat, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that
Mm-hmm.
kind of sucks. Like, I should be able to make temporary mods without making them feel bad about, like,
So,
unmodding them at the end of the stream. It's
do you
fine.
think your mod should have a hierarchy? Like, should there be like a baby mod, a regular mod, and then like an administrator, like different levels?
Yeah, I think that would work a lot better. Um, Kind of like in Discord,
Yeah,
right? Like when people
that's
have
the
their own
example I'm thinking
servers.
about.
That's the example I'm thinking about.
I'm trying to think about like what else I can use to pick your brain. I do know. Haha, I got another one. This is what happens. I'm just gonna just keep talking. um, I know in the United States server, the international server, a lot of people have their own Discord servers for reality. Like they have their own community server. Uh, do you have one? And if you do, why? If you don't, why?
Okay, so fantastic question actually. This might be a little bit of a lengthy answer. I apologize. So, when I was a small, like I'm still a small streamer. I still have under 1K. Quickly getting to 1K for some reason, but it's fine. Um,
Because we love you.
I had a server. Because we love you. I had a server when I had like 400 followers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I deleted it. Only because I I'm part of different reality servers, right? So I saw them
Mm-hmm.
and I got
Mm-hmm.
intimidated. I was like, like this is not. I don't have the mental energy to upkeep a server like that with like four people because I feel like almost for every 100 followers I get one active person from
Mm-hmm.
those 100
Mm-hmm.
followers is what it feels like
Valid.
sometimes, right? Um, and now that I have close to a K, I have a server, but it's not public. Like
Okay.
I
Okay.
have it all set up and ready to go for when I feel like it's an appropriate time, right? So I feel like when I hit 1K, I'd be willing to put that server out and have people join it. Only because now that I am getting slightly less small, I won't say large because I don't consider myself a big streamer. Um, I do like a lot more events that are important to me, right? Even like the
Mm-hmm.
background ones, like the background that I have here. I love this background and I work really hard for it. And I currently have a background right now that I'm working really hard for as well. And I'm like, I could put this in my server, you
Mm-hmm.
know? Um, or if I have friends that don't have servers and they're working really hard for an event, I can advertise them in there instead of having to like put in my very limited text box on my screen when I very rarely stream during the day. You know, like, oh, please go
Mm-hmm.
support this person, do this, right? I feel like it's also a way to have my friends be friends or any followers be friends with each other too. And I think that that part of building a community is really, really important. Um, However, I think it's really hard to do as a smaller streamer
Yeah, yeah.
because then
I
it's
know.
just like a group chat.
It's just it base well because and then like so part of the reason why I haven't done a personal server, like I have my event Discord, but part of the reason why I don't have the like community server, even though people have been asking, is because I'm like I'm in so many people's server and it's just the same people and it feels like it's just a group chat that's using like 20 different group chats because there's just one person extra, one person missing. Um, so then that and so this is these are all tying together. Okay, so I don't know if you have a beacons, right? Something or like a link tree because you did say like you stream on different platforms. Would that be something you'd be willing to have in your bio to redirect people to?
So the only reason that I haven't done it yet is because sometimes I like keeping certain communities separate.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like on my Twitch, right? I haven't necessarily started it as a VTubing Twitch. Sometimes I show like my actual face on there. And I will only give my Twitch out for a stream if I know I'm not going to be showing my face. Because if I
Okay.
do show my face, sometimes like, I'm comfortable with people that I'm super close to on this app knowing what I look like. Because it just happens, like I'll meet up with them or we'll get on a video call or what have you, right? Or in a server somewhere, I'll post a selfie if I'm comfortable with the people in that server. Very rarely, but I will sometimes. Um, but I like keeping my anonymity on this app specifically
Mm-hmm.
because it makes me still feel comfortable streaming. Because I feel like sometimes people expect me to look a certain way, and if I don't look how they're expecting, they're like, oh, never mind.
Yeah, I'm
You know
not.
what I mean?
I know you have a large wig collection, but I haven't seen any blue in your hair collection. I know I don't have green hair IRL. It's I only did those green one time. Okay, one time when I was in my crazy color phase, did I do green? But no.
Hey, it's not my fault they color coded me blue, bro. Every time I pull an item, it's mostly blue, and I'm like, I wanted pink. I actually did a blue wig once, and I hated it. So I never did it again.
Okay.
But, you
I
know,
I
I
also
also
didn't
don't
like
look
having blue
like
hair.
this because my skin tone's not like this IRL. You know, I'm a little darker. I'm Mexican. I'm a little bit more tan and olive toned.
No, I am this
But you have
pale.
very limited what you can put.
I'm this pale, and I had hair that was like as blue as your hair at one time. I had this shade of green. I've been burgundy. I've been pink. I've been purple. Like my poor hair has been through it.
Mine too. That's why I'm bald now. I'm like, I just wear wigs instead of bleaching my hair.
But yeah, thank you so much, Moki. Do you have any questions or like things that you like any last words? Because honestly, I can't think of anything else. Like I like my list is done.
Honestly, my last unhinged words of wisdom that are still SFW, right? Just do it. Be like Nike. Just do it. Because I did not want to stream for such a long time. And then I just did it. And then I just started talking to people. And now I have a sticker. I'm like, unfortunately, immortalized for other people. I'm happy being immortalized on this app, but it's so unfortunate for other people, you know? And now I've made like lifelong friends on this app. I've met such a beautiful community, you know? Um, it's so worth it. And it's okay if I don't have the mental energy one day to do something, you know, because I
Mm-hmm.
know with the community that I've started to build and that I've been reached out to and by and from, you know, I don't know if that sentence made any logical sense, but
No,
I
no,
think
I
you know
get it.
what
I
I'm
get it.
trying
I know what you're
to
talking
say.
about.
It's always gonna like be supportive. Um, Like I've had people say, if you can't stream today, that's okay. Like the daily badge is just a badge. And I'm like, no, I have to do the daily badge. I'm a perfectionist. But like I also say that to other people. Like if you don't have the mental energy, it's okay to pull out of an event. It's okay to say I tried. It's okay to not succeed 100% at something. You don't have to succeed or fail. You can partially succeed at something. And you're still good enough. You're still you. Just stay true to yourself, and everything will work out the way that it's supposed to. That's
Yeah.
my parting words. Yeah.
Well, thank you. Those are some of the best words I've heard in a while. And it is something that we all need to remember because there are definitely days where you hit the wall and you just don't have the energy to make content. And people are like, oh, but you'll brighten up my day. I'm like, well, yeah, thanks so much. Like, that really does help me. But it also puts a lot of pressure on me as a streamer of like, okay, you're coming to me because I brighten up your day and I make you smile. But then it's like, sometimes it's really hard to draw the line of not pushing yourself. So yeah, those are great words, Maki. Thank you so much. Thank you for allowing me to interview you. I hope you enjoyed it. I just love learning more about people and like how they tick. Thank you, Max. Mwah!
Thank you for interviewing me, smooches. I
Smooches,
appreciate
smooches,
it, but thank you for letting me talk.
smooches. Are,